separate from her, then give her time to make accommodations to get the fuck on. Okay, you want me to leave? Cool. Let me book me and my baby a flight, and I could be out here first thing in the morning. Maybe you go to a hotel, but that's some bitch ass shit to do.
Well, I'm not going to a hotel for my own shit. I'm sorry.
We didn't go to the couch.
Nope. I'm not gonna do that either.
You gonna get out too, G?
No, I'm saying if it had gotten to that point, let's just say we don't know the backstory. Mm-hmm. Let's say we don't know what happened that we didn't see on camera. All right, this is all hypothetical, and it really did rise to that level, right? If it really did rise to that level, then yeah, I'm gonna tell you to exit the premises. If you want to leave the baby behind, so be it, because that's my child. But you need to go. Now, if that requires you to, because DaniLeigh, she got some money too. Well, she should. I don't want to count anybody's pockets. If that then requires you to go get a hotel room while you figure out how to get your flight, then so be it. That's if it rolls to that level. But I would believe, I gotta believe that it did in some shape, way, or form, because he pulled out first of all, they're famous. So if you were to go on live, you already know that it's about to spark a whole bunch of controversy.
Yeah, but you can't. So here's the thing. You can't create the emergency for which you now seek refuge from. He sat there and antagonized that girl. She was telling him to take her off live, turn the camera off. She was sitting there holding her baby, trying to feed her baby, and he fucking with her. And then when when she fights back, you call the police.
All I'm saying is, I'm not advocating it. All I'm saying is we don't know what happened before he went on live. So before that happened, it may have been the other way around. So maybe he decided, I'm gonna go on live. I'm gonna antagonize her now. Since she did this, we're gonna see how she like with everybody seeing how this work out. Now, once again, I am not advocating or saying he was right. I'm just saying we don't know what happened prior to that. Based on what we saw on camera, yeah, he was antagonizing her. And she just snapped, or finally snapped.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. She breastfeeding your child, bro. Like, nigga, that you can wait till she's done to start doing that extra shit. That shit whack as fuck.
I mean, okay. I'm just saying. Now I know dudes who have babies by baby mamas who they consider side chicks or whatever, and they have no care or in the world for what they might be doing with the child at that time. I'm saying they don't feel a sense of like, I should be making sure that she's okay with the baby. They like, bitch, I can't stand you. So I don't give a fuck.
In that instance, though, I understand about that part, but I'm saying in that moment, she was breastfeeding her child, their child. That moment, he could have waited till she was done and then he should have. That's what I'm saying.
He should have
fought for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Yeah, but I don't see a scenario of I can't stand you, but you've been up in my crib with me for weeks on weeks. They both each have access. She don't need to stay there. How did she get in? He had to have let her in. So this isn't a scenario of I don't like you. This is some shit went foul. Now, according to her, he wanted her to leave so he could have some other women over. I don't know if that's true or not. But in the midst of this hairstylist comes out and says she knew the baby wasn't shit because he booked his other baby mama a hair appointment with her 2 days after they got down.
Wow.
And she was like, she had to check with the girl a couple of times to be like, wait, are you sure? Who are you? You his baby mama? She was like, because we just got down and he contacted me to do her hair 2 days later.
Well, he just the epitome of a I don't give a fuck nigga.
He just don't. He ain't gonna give no fucks, and that's okay too. But when you don't give no fucks, you got to be prepared for no fucks to be given.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like when no fucks was to be given, because she alleges he got mad because she got a Plan B ordered and shit to the house.
Right.
And that he refused to wear protection and he don't want the responsibility that comes with unprotected sex. Obviously, they have one child. Mm-hmm. So in this ridiculous control, but his other baby mama had been on live trying to expose him for shit he was doing and talking to other girls. So this is just who he is.
Mm-hmm.
This is a crazy discussion.
It is the most ridiculous shit. I'm like, where's y'all mama at?
Right. And then the fact that it's all on social media, that's the funny thing. Like, man, it's out.
And the real.
I guess what I'm saying though, too, though, Dan, is like, for her to say, yeah, he got mad. Like, I mean, when I tell you, half the time they beefing, half the time they like together, the other half trying to act like they don't know one another. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why I said, if you're in a relationship like that, that's somewhat like volatile or topsy-turvy, mm-hmm. then you need to be prepared at all times to exit stage left.
I can't disagree on that point.
So I don't disagree with that either. I think she got caught off guard because I think she thought in this particular situation, in this particular scenario, she was going to get a different level of respect for him. And she learned very quickly that wasn't true. And again, I don't know what happened. He claims that he's a victim of domestic abuse. Men are victims all the time. I don't know what happened.
I know.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So see people? See? All right, go ahead.
I don't take lightly to that because I do think there are times when women hit men under the auspices that they're not going to hit them back. Right?
And so I totally agree with that. Yeah.
So I think that's abuse, right? Because if a man hit a woman, you're gonna call him a woman abuser. I think we have to be fair in that space. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even talking and getting into power dynamics, so don't send me no crazy letters or nothing like that.
Right.
But
don't worry, I'll send you the letters for them.
Whatever. I just hate that you have two young, talented Black music artists who will probably not recover from this in a way that's helpful to them.
Yeah.
In a sustainable way. And it's sad because we see so many of these artists fall to their own demise by their own doing. Because as you saw in the video, everybody he had around him agreed with everything he said.
Yes, man.
Oh, well, because he got a whole bunch of yes dudes around him. That's what most of them surround themselves with. A true friend is somebody that's going to actually tell you the truth, regardless of what your reaction is.
Well, somebody at some point did tell him to turn the camera off. Like, you need to get off, and he didn't, obviously. And they stopped, and then they just started agreeing with everything he said.
Yeah, like you said, a true friend gonna tell you the truth regardless. That's the true nature of friendship. You can't agree. You're not gonna agree with anybody 100% of the time. Period. That's life. You know what I'm saying? So a true friend is going to try to help you out of that situation. And I'm just saying, like, man, in that situation, I'm just still can't get over that. Your child was being fed by your baby mama and you kicking her out. And the thing I really can't wrap my head around is he put this on live Instagram when that baby now 3 months, in 10 years from now or 6 years from now,
it'll still be out there.
It's still going to be out there. People are like, your mama was a side piece. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want bring that kind of shame or harm to your child? You know what I'm saying? That's something y'all can have behind closed doors. Now, if you having something that wasn't on Instagram Live and y'all just had a disagreement inside your own house, no one, that's hearsay. No one can pull that up. Like, he can pull it up on their cell phone and say, look, hey, your mama, she got arrested by the cops. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's like, I know he didn't think it through, but that's something I know he didn't think through, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it going to do to his child? You know what I'm saying? And like you said, the baby mama's over there probably watching them over popcorn, like, woo, yeah, get him, girl. Yeah, you a side piece. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
Well, yeah, they're taking joy in somebody else's pain that they've experienced at his hands too. But the reality of it is, when the dust all settles, they're all his victims at some point.
Yeah.
Right. No, neither one of them are above the other. And I use victim as a light term because I think to some extent you kind of know what you're dealing with. And when you know what you're dealing with, you don't get to claim victim, right? When you walk into the lion's den and you get bit, you can't be like, ow, because you knew where you were.
Right. Can't claim victim, especially if you're in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. But anyway.
but so I guess that's what I'm saying. Like,
man,
in terms of, well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Man.
But I'm saying in terms of DaniLeigh, like, the baby's antics with women and women that he's talked to and that he's been with are well documented, so to speak. So, you know, I don't know. It's like they say in boxing. Always keep your hands up.
Hey, protect yourself at all
Always
times.
keep your hands. Yeah. Protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, but that's the illusion of the relationship, right? She probably in some way, shape, or form thought things were going to be different and she was going to have a different experience with him. And that's the rapid fall that she's making in terms of her heart falling into her guts, realizing that this is Tuesday for him.
Right.
And this not an indictment towards him, because he's a kid. He'll grow up and he'll mature from this in a way that he'll look back on it and you will hope to think that he's reflective, like, yeah, that was some stupid shit. But yet at the same time, you still have Stevie J walking around here. So I don't have hope for everybody like that.
Right.
You should.
Right. Stevie.
Yeah, because I don't have no hope for Stevie J.
Hey, he filed a divorce and then he was on the beach with his wife again. So I mean, come on.
I saw something today about Faith was grimy. I didn't get a chance to look at it though, so I'm not exactly sure.
The reason why he filed divorce is because he put a video out today talking about that how she slept with some dude in their house. He cheated on him in their house. And she was up to like, cut that video off, you know what I'm saying? And all this type mess. That's why he filed for divorce last week. But then, you know, this week they're at the beach frolicking. So it's like, what? Why file divorce?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when it was, but it had to be 10 plus years ago. But Mark Cuban came out and he just said, you know, with all these advances in technology, and this probably won't age well. He said camera phones are not going to be our friends and will not be our friends. And goddamn it, he's right.
Well, I knew that too.
True.
He's right. I have never been on live. Never. And I'm not saying that people should go on live. I think it's fun stuff to do on live. But
Right.
you on live denigrating a woman that you chose to have a baby with.
Yep.
That you got a lifelong connection to. And it's beyond me. I just want to know where their mama's at. That's all I want. That's all.
Look,
because if that was my daughter, I'd have been on the first flight over there and I'd have been hitting her upside her head, talking about, because you know better. Let's go. We out.
For sure. Oh man.
He said he got a lifelong connection to 18. Shit. I mean, he got a lifelong connection. He said, I got a lifelong connection with her till the baby turned 18.
Nah, it go beyond that.
It always does, but you know that's
it always go beyond
the average
that.
nigga. The average bad parent thinks that though. The average bad parent thinks that, but you're right.
That's my point. Depends on what type of parent you are, but also, if you have money, it may not necessarily go beyond that, Dandridge. If you got a bunch of cash, once the child turns 18, you don't necessarily have to deal with mama.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, and this rap game is very much like the NFL, and that's what I don't think a lot of these women be thinking about when they jump into these spaces. There are very few futures out here that are making the money that they're making. I'm not saying the baby's not making any money. I can't begin to count his pockets, but so was Juvenile at one point. Right? So were all these other rappers that now you can go and find doing whatever kind of shows at Motor City Casino. Right? They just got to figure it out. So, I mean, unless you got a sustainable thing, that shit just don't work. It don't last like that. They running backs.
Yeah.
They're running backs for 100%. I mean, we can go through the last 10 years of artists that done fell out. I mean, at one point, what was his name? Lil Zane was one of the hottest little rappers. Now he's an add-on in the BMF show.
Right.
I was like, they look like Lil Zane. They put a hot top fade on him in the most disrespectful way.
Was he ever one of the hottest rappers?
Well, you know, at that one time, he had one of the hottest songs in the nation.
He had one of the hottest songs.
Yeah, it was on 112. Yep. It was on 112. You know, two of the hottest songs in that time. You know, and fizzled out. You know, shoot. And like you said with Juvenile,
the hottest rapper. He may have had two hot songs, but I still would not give him hottest rapper.
No. Hot does, you gotta understand, hot is